This neighborhood was quiet, too quiet. The houses stood in neat rows, their lawns were green and trimmed, but something felt off. One house stood empty. It was at the end of the street. The house was old and dark. People whispered about it. They said it was haunted. Neighbors told stories. They heard strange noises at night. Some saw flickering lights in the windows. No one dared to go near the house. It was a place of mystery, a place of fear. One day, a young couple arrived, Sarah and John. They were excited about their new home. They didn't know its history. They didn't know the secrets it held. Sarah loved the old house. John loved the big yard. They unpacked boxes. They hung pictures on the walls. They were happy. They felt safe. They didn't feel the eyes watching them. They didn't sense the darkness lurking nearby. Night came. The house grew quiet, too quiet. Sarah and John lay in bed. They were trying to sleep. Then they heard it. A noise. It was a soft scratching sound. It came from the ceiling. John wasn't worried. It's probably just mice, he said. But Sarah felt uneasy. Something felt wrong. The scratching continued. Then the lights flickered. Sarah shivered. She was scared. Section 4. The attic's shadow. The next day they looked around. They wanted to find the source of the noise. They checked the basement. They checked the closets. Finally, they found a small door. It led to the attic. The door creaked open. The air inside was cold. The attic was dark and dusty. Cobwebs hung from the rafters. Old furniture was piled everywhere. It was creepy. Sarah and John stepped inside. They felt a cold presence. It was as if they were being watched. Section 5. Trapped. In the corner, they saw it, an antique mirror. It was covered in dust. John walked over and wiped it clean. As he did, a figure appeared in the mirror. It was a dark, shadowy figure. It had glowing red eyes. Sarah and John gasped. They stumbled backward in fear. They turned to run, but the door slammed shut. They were trapped. The shadow moved in the mirror. It was coming closer. Section 6. Empty again. Sarah and John pounded on the door. They screamed for help. Finally, with a loud crash, the door flew open. They didn't waste a second. They ran out of the attic. They ran out of the house. They left everything behind. Sarah and John never returned. The house stood empty again, quiet again, but it wasn't truly empty. The shadow remained. It waited in the attic mirror. It waited for new victims. It waited in the quiet.